on this whole we've been given a man thing, you know? Like, I don't think we're taking full advantage of it. Like, we're so calm. I want like half a year basically. So I think in this month that we're given, we should just every day just be on some, you know? That's like, you know, it's our month, guys. It's our month. Our whole month about us. I think we've been very calm. Yes. So my name is Ubusi Chama. I'm a businesswoman now. I'm a motivational speaker, which I find good to this whole motivational speaker thing. People expect me to be this highly successful individual. I'm just a woman, you know, who tries, and I have so many failures. And I found ways to rise up in a positive way. And I felt because I come from a history, you know, of women that have always shared, you know. I found myself in a very unfortunate position a few years ago where I'd lost my whole entire family basically in a short space of time, and I was pregnant with my son at the time. And that's when I saw the role of women. These women were no longer there, but I was able to care for my child based on the conversations that I was part of, based on what I had seen. You know, they were not physically there, but not once did I struggle with my son. I mean, from small, disgusting little things that I remembered, like when my son's nose was blocked the one time, I went with my mouth and I pulled that whole thing out. Gross as it is, but I mean, this is having been around women. So, and it's a tough time to be a woman right now because there's social media and everybody's painting their best life, you know? You wake up, people are looking extra gorgeous, they're driving the best cars, you know, they're living in the best house, and you look at yourself and you're like, what am I doing with my life? So I found that it's important, although I'm trying to also, you know, have my own ambitions, but I found it, let me find time to share of my stories because my stories are not perfect. You know, my stories have so many flaws in them. And I think there's a beauty in us having to share these parts of ourselves. You know, all parts of ourselves are beautiful, you know, and in this life, you know, we're not always going to be looking #fabulous, you know, but in this beauty in knowing that you are not alone, you know, that there's women that have walked, you know, where you are walking. So I am going to read out a small little something that I wrote called Gratitude. I have a website, it's called www.mandlomo.co.za. So today's topic is gratitude. This is by far my favorite topic, and I'm more than certain it's one I will revisit again. We need to reshape how we look at things because in everyday life, there are so many reasons for us to be grateful if we look closely enough. I promise you, once you commit to training your eye, you will not go a day without finding something to be grateful for. The beauty of gratitude is that it fills us up with hope and opens our eyes to the beauty of life. Allow me to share with you my journey with gratitude. I have a 4-year-old son. Mine and his father's relationship ended a year after he was born. I was naturally devastated as being a single mom was not something I had thought I would be. The negative thought I could have possessed at this point would be, oh my, me as Busi Chama, I'm a failure because I failed and this relationship ended. Instead, I chose to look at the situation fully, and with that came the realization that I'm now a mom to this amazing son who loves me in ways I didn't even think possible. The downside of focusing on the negative is that you will seldom see the blessings that they replace the loss. Never in my life had I had someone who jumps for joy and lights up by me simply walking into the room. We often focus on what's lost and seldom appreciate what we have gained. 2016, I lost both my parents and my grandparents and my older sister. I was a single mom. I'd lost people she loved and lost being my own mother when I was pregnant with my son. 3 years later, in 2019, I walked into Pollsmoor Female Center in the correctional facility in Pollsmoor and started telling my life story to female wardens. I didn't personally know any of these women, and they didn't know me. Every second week, I would get in my tiny little Kia Picanto on a Thursday morning and shared of myself with these ladies. I shared of my lessons, my fears, my insecurities, my personal journey that led me to them. These women have cried and prayed with me. I walked in there years ago as a woman who had lost more than one person should in such a short period of time. Though now a year later, I've gained countless mothers, sisters, and friends all at once. These women are no longer strangers but family. I took lessons from my pain of loss and shared it with others to encourage them in their dark moments. And the unintended consequences that I have more family now than I've ever had in my life. Be thankful for what you have, and you will end up having more. If you concentrate on what you don't have, you will never have enough. Let's be agents of change, and let's be agents of love, ladies. So, some of us were a little bit scared coming back to the situation, because let's be honest, we worked in corporate and in toxic corporate situations before. But I'm telling you, we were never powerless wherever we are as women. I'll share a story. I used to work across the road, and I worked this one time for a person that really had a problem with me, and it was visible. Like I couldn't. It was what it was, And he would do such small little things to make me feel small. Like he'd make sure everyone in this table here he buys everyone breakfast, but me, right? Just small things like that, and they were personal because you can't not take that personally. And then I asked myself, yes, Zibusi, you prayed for this job. It was you. I was in a tough situation, and I prayed to God, and God gave me this opportunity. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm here for 8 hours, man. Am I gonna let this one individual stand between me and what I prayed for? And then I looked at this guy and I was like, I'm going to have a pleasant working environment. Full stop. And then I started actioning. When he'd walk in, he walked in the one day and I was like, is this you? Italian suits? Chinese shoes? Because that's how you turn the situation around. You women. We have love, Nje. That's why God made us the bearers of life. Love is in our DNA. So every day, man, the first time he just looked at me, the second day he comes, he walks and I was like, no. 3 weeks later, though, he would walk into the office and start looking at me like, So, yes, there's certain people that you will find, but you must understand because they had never encountered you and your love before.
Yeah.
So you change that situation around. We here 8 hours is so long, guys. To be miserable. It's a choice, you choose it. And I mentioned this last time that I was here that also at that place I got the promotion. I was on the top floor.
Yes.
But now I had replaced a lady who had been in the position for 25 years, So everybody did things her way. They understood her and her. So when I came there, I looked absolutely nothing like this woman. Obviously, she was there for 25 years, and then also not the same race. And you can see my personality. One would not place me on the important floor. But she's smart, so don't get it.
Oh yes.
So when I got there, I'm telling you, ladies, every morning, because my mother raised me a particular way, and me, I will be representative of how I was raised. Now, I don't care. You can try and provide me when I'm in a toxic environment, but me, I know what my mother had to do to make me to be the kind of person that I choose to be. So every morning I'd walk in, I'd be like, morning, morning. And then the silence, every day for a month. And then I would go into the bathroom and I would lock myself in and I would cry. I would cry because it hurt. It was real. But what was not going to happen, I was not going back down one floor, me. I was in executive level now. And within no time, they used to have this boring corporate events and stuff. Now there's me in this. I had to brighten the thing. Now look at the people that are excited to go to must balls now. Huh? Look at you who didn't want me. Look at you now. So what I'm saying is, let's adopt this. Let's not go back, to how things used to be. And we can't change corporate situations, but we understand we need to earn from here. There's a reason why we wake up. There's people that depend on us to be here. But just because people depend on us doesn't mean we must be miserable.
Yeah.
We must stop with the suffering. Stop with the suffering, even here. And we need to create such a beautiful environment for other women because there's women around you that are in pain. And I want to just share something small, and I love languages. There's 5 love languages, that we could practice with women amongst each other. A little bit of touch. In the morning, a little bit of a huggy hug, to start the day. smile, man, a smile. Imagine you're walking in and there's someone just happy to see you.
Yeah.
We can provide this for each other, ladies. We know how it is to be women. We don't need to be like the women before us. We all saw how tired our mothers were at the end of it. At the end of it, we saw how tired they were. My mother literally went onto a bus and she closed her eyes and she died. Because she took on too much. We don't believe in rest. We don't believe. And we can create rest for each other here and work in the form of kindness.
Yeah.
In the form of acceptance. In the form of patience. We can create this. Nothing is preventing us. We can turn the things around. Can I tell you that the first business that I had, there was a big Liberty client, and the same person, Mr. Italian suit, they said there in this executive meeting that I was not part of that they they need a person who can be able to speak to this client, and this client wanted to mentor someone, I'm not in business, Do you know who raised their hand and said my name?
Mr. Italian suit.
It's the Italian suit. It's the Italian suit. We have power, ladies, and our power does not look like men's power. It's not forceful. It's not forceful. It's gentle. It's consistent. We will tire others with love.
Oh,
We
yes.
choose this. We're gonna come here. We're gonna end here. We're gonna have fun here. Who says we can't? Who says this has to be the kind of environment where we're unhappy? Who says this is the kind of environment where we can't be? You know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We can't. Why? Who said it? No one said it. It's not in the contract. You know, contract says we have to be here. The contract says we have to be here. And how we choose to be when we're here, that's all up to us. This could be the place that you get excited to run away from your children. So I can't work now. But it's my ladies' meet. Actually, I can't look at people. You know, you can have that here. You can have that. So I want you to maybe try something small. Maybe once at the end of the month, everybody choose a color, bring snacks, and do a share. You know, get used to each other in that way. We have to put action behind the things and not hope that, you know, because me, I'm talking now, it's nice for this hour, but if you don't put action behind it, the situation will stay. Small little things, and you will discover cute little things about each other. There's so much that combines us. The differences that we see with our eyes are very few based on what it is. When you start engaging with people, what you'll be able to see, like your best friend might be in this room and might not even look like you, but you haven't ventured out. Let's try. Let's just like reach out with the hand of kindness, ladies.
Yes.
And also, I'm taking up because I want people to like help me with this time have hair. I feel we deserve half hair, guys. So I trust that you guys will enjoy yourselves thoroughly in this month, so that the government is like, no, man, 1 month is not enough. I'm gonna leave you with that, please, guys. If anything you can do for me, just for the remainder of this month, just be unnecessarily happy. Unnecessarily happy.
Yes. Oh, yes.